India, bustling with female energy, rising, punching, demanding.
I still don't see no girls behind me.
Millions of women are on the move in the world's largest democracy, but a dark underbelly looms.
They used to force me, press my breasts, finger me. They tortured me so much I wanted to commit suicide.
A man tries to dominate a woman by making himself her master. The simplest way he does that is by controlling her sexually.
You know, females are shy and they just keep their mouths shut, or they are told to do so.
I sometimes feel like I really want to punch a wall.
Rapes and gang rapes, an average of at least 85 every day. That's one reported case every 15 minutes. And those are just the ones on record. Thousands of women stay silent in a land where misogyny runs deep and patriarchy rules.
You know, misogyny is that invisible hand that edits a woman's choices.
How do Indian women navigate this reality? And how does it shape their choices? We'll take you on a journey to meet women who fight misogyny. Our journey begins in northern India, in Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state. It's often in the news for sexual violence, for femicides, for female infanticide. Here, we meet Usha Vishwakarma.
In 2006, someone tried to rape me. It was someone I knew. It was a friend, a colleague. Many people believe that if girls are educated and financially independent, everything will be fine. But it happened to me, and I was earning, working in education.
We have prepared a board and asked her to complete it with her team. We'll do this with all the protagonists of the story. Devil, dictator, more dangerous than a beast are some of the words they use. Usha has chosen not to marry and made it her mission to teach self-defense.
When we teach girls self-defense, it's not just about using hands and feet. The primary defense mechanism is the mind.
When her colleague tried to rape her, Usha froze. That's why she believes mindset plays a crucial role in self-protection. This is a typical morning for Lucknow's Red Brigade, the group Usha helped to found.
9, 10, okay? When you do this, you find your balance.
The girls training with her are rape survivors. After years in shelters, they now live with Usha. Anu is one of the head trainers.
It's so important to learn this. In India's history, women fought for our independence. So if they could fight for our country, why can't we fight for our own safety?
The Red Brigade has a busy day ahead. Their red shirts draw attention. In Usha's hometown, public spaces are still dominated by men. But India's development is slowly chipping away at the idea that only men provide or decide.
Women are growing nowadays, but in earlier days, we men put them down. We accept, we apologize to them that we are, but now I support feminism.
Some men have a very small mind.
Indian
culture has always said men must hide their tears. Women don't have to, but men are expected to hide emotions because they run the family. So according to our culture, men must be tough and women must be kept under control a little.
इंडिया में मैम ऐसा
There's also a lot of confusion in India about what's really happening right now in the country. These days, women get married and then they kill their husbands. This is what's happening in India right now. So what can I say? Women are rising more and more, and men are being pushed down. That's all.
About 30 kilometers outside Lucknow, the Red Brigade has been invited to teach self-defense at a public high school.
You have to pull, but keep one hand free.
Amid nervous giggles, Usha urges the girls to step out of their comfort zone and hit a boy. Without Deepak, who plays the attacker, the message wouldn't hit home. He takes plenty of punches from Usha.
It really hurts. But if the girls don't see us acting naturally and in pain, they won't really understand that the method is effective.
Deepak is used to being the laughingstock.
Yes, definitely. My friends joke that I get beaten up by girls and do weird things. At first, I thought maybe we shouldn't do this, but reading the papers, we see so many cases of violence against women and girls. To stop it, someone must take a stand.
Usha keeps things light. The girls are shy, not used to speaking up in public, let alone fighting back. At 18, Rajni is one of the more daring ones.
First, we'll hit him in his private parts. Then we'll punch his chest. After that, we'll scratch his face. That's how we can protect ourselves.
The technique we showed today is just one aspect. The most important element is quick decision-making.
Before heading back to the city, the team stops in a nearby village. Most Indians still live in places like this. Women stay at home. Their days are filled with chores and raising children. Usha goes door to door, checking in.
You're a girl. When you step out, you feel scared. But what exactly are you afraid of?
I'm just hoping that no one teases us and that nothing bad happens to our bodies. But if something bad happens, we can't even tell anyone.
A little later, some of the village women join Usha for a chat. They talk a lot about teasing. They don't say harassment, sexual violence or rape, just teasing, a common euphemism for sexual aggression in India.
If women aren't scared of men, they'll be safe. But if they're scared, they'll be teased. When men are around, women need to be a little brave.
If we don't do anything wrong, no one will ever tease us. But if we misbehave, people will tease us.
In Lucknow, a 5-year-old girl was raped.
I don't mean kids.
But listen, a small child. You said that if a girl isn't doing anything wrong, nothing will happen to her. Now tell me, a 5-year-old girl was raped. What did she do wrong?
As the day ends, we ask Usha what she's taking away from it.
The biggest question mark over women's safety is tied to men, to a man's mindset. But patriarchy isn't limited to one gender, it's really a general mindset.
We travel to Mumbai, the city of dreams, India's glittering giant where Bollywood shapes how society thinks. At its famous Mahalakshmi temple, we meet Meghna Pant, an award-winning feminist author. We'll be checking in with her for analysis throughout our journey. Mahalakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity and fortune, worshipped by millions across India.
Women are often seen in binaries, the good woman versus the bad woman. So she's either a virgin or a whore. we have this notion of idealized femininity. So we put women on a pedestal and we worship them in as long as they're silent. But this exacerbation of violence that we're seeing against women is coming because women are pushing back, and that'll stop only when we debunk this theory of women in their idealized femininity.
But debunking what Meghna calls idealized femininity is an uphill task for men and women alike. Even a feminist like Meghna had to unlearn it. We'll hear more about that later.
It's coded in our lullabies and our nursery rhymes and our textbooks, in our TV shows, in our family WhatsApp groups. So unlearning misogyny and of course calling it out is the first act of rebellion, and fighting against it is the rest of our lives.
Yo, what's up? Myself, JQueen, aka Jacqueline Melvin Lucas. I'm a singer, rapper, performer, songwriter from Mumbai, but I was born in Chennai. I rap in English and Tamil. Let's go.
On a sweltering Sunday afternoon, Jacqueline Lucas, aka JQueen, takes us to a rap cipher in a Mumbai park, an almost entirely male world. Even though she's already a well-known name in the city's nascent rap scene, she still has to fight for her spot. Anger features in many songs. Going solo was tough. Jacqueline eventually teamed up with other female rappers to kickstart her career. 5 rising stars who call themselves Wild Wild Women. Their signature track shares the same name.
The song is filled with 5 powerful women's stories. How we all have our own individual stories, wherein we all have been betrayed, we all have been said you can't do this, but we are gonna roam freely. We are the barriers breaker, we are the future, and nobody can stop us from that.
She may be wild on stage, but she's a homebody at heart. Her favorite place to be is with her mother, her hero. In her care, Jacqueline recharges, and nothing beats mom's food.
My mom, she has always been in this house. She has gave up on her dreams and she wanted to be a police officer, but she was not able to because we were born and she had to take care of us.
I never imagined my daughter would come this far. She's so brave. She really fights for herself. Violence against women happens because people were never taught to respect them. In the old days, women were confined to the kitchen. They couldn't work or even step outside. We also didn't have mobiles then. Now there are smartphones, laptops, the internet, everything. Women can learn so much now.
But pressure on women remains. Society wants them to be modest, good girls, and settle down with a man.
First of all, it was unexpected for my relatives and my friends that, I would be something like this, what I am right now. Even they sometimes tell my mom and dad, what is she doing? She's just going outside wearing this kind of clothes, showing her stomach, her cleavage, and putting lipsticks, putting heavy makeup on her face. Why do you even allow her? This is what you have taught her? I mean, it's better she can see my son, he's an engineer.
All of this finds its way into her songs. Jacqueline writes most of them at home. Her creative hub is the small balcony of the family flat.
If I would have stopped my dream few years back, I would have been in a call center taking calls. Hey, this is Jacqueline, how can I help you? But I did not. I was stubborn towards my passion. Music is like breathing for me. I was really stubborn. I want to do it. I know I will do it. And here I am.
Cosmopolitan Mumbai is more progressive than most of India. But even here, women have to watch their backs. JQueen travels across the city for her gigs, often alone, often at night, usually by train. Right now, she's on her way to a late-night show at a club.
Each and every streets, the women are not safe at all. People out there who have the authority, they are not taking proper actions towards the person who's doing it. You know, the victim is being cursed more than the criminal.
Past midnight, the atmosphere in the club is electric. JQueen is in her element. She says music is her most powerful weapon in her quest to be herself, to be a wild Indian woman. In another part of Mumbai, Meghna Pant heads to JNPT, one of Mumbai's oldest and finest public libraries. The feminist author grew up in privilege, went to elite schools, traveled the world. But it still took Meghna 5 years to leave an abusive marriage, an experience that shaped her novel Boys Don't Cry.
Here I was with my chest cut open, my heart cut open, allowing people to get in and break me so wide open that nothing inside me could live again.
Like so many Indian women, Meghna felt trapped in her marriage, convinced she had no choice but to stay.
You can be marriage-free and still be a woman. Yet women in India taught that unless and until we are obedient daughters and mothers and servile wives, silent wives, we are not complete, we are not whole. If you must do one thing in life, it's to get married and to remain married no matter what.
Societal change needs strong signals from the top. But what if the top is part of the problem? In 2024, an election watchdog found more than 150 lawmakers accused of violence against women. 16 of them faced rape charges. Yet voters chose them. Many Indians put their faith in male strongmen who promise development. Parliament and much of the judiciary remain male bastions.
A man will rape, and he'll rape brutally. He will even kill while raping and yet walk away scot-free. So yes, we need development. Yes, we need glossy roads. But what's the point of these glossy roads upon which women cannot tread? Unless and until we're dismantling the patriarchy, we are annihilating the manosphere, and we're unshackling toxic masculinity, all this means nothing, honestly.
Dismantling patriarchy, annihilating the manosphere, but how? Our journey takes us to Punjab, a socially conservative northwestern state known as India's breadbasket. In its capital, Chandigarh, we meet Sheshandeep Kaur Sidhu. She's taking a rare break from studying. She wants to be a civil servant, but India's exams are among the toughest in the world. Millions apply, only a few succeed. Sheshandeep does yoga to calm her mind.
I was always attracted towards spirituality, towards yoga, meditation and breathing exercises. And when I do these things, I feel like I'm into some kind of different zone. And it's so calming, it's so relaxing. I feel like this is the thing I should do, means over again and again.
Sheshandeep splits her time between studying in Chandigarh and her native village, 5 hours away. With every kilometer, the journey takes us deeper into tradition. Yoga out in the open in her ancestral village, unthinkable.
I feel like there are more eyes on you and you have to behave in a certain way. You have to wear certain clothes, right? So yeah, I behave accordingly. When I'm in village, there's this different kind of person I am, and when I'm in city, I'm the different one.
Manakana, a village of 600 people and about 100 households. Only half the women here can read or write. And as in many parts of India, there are many more boys than girls. This is where Sheshandeep's journey began, as the sarpanch, or elected head of the village, possible only due to the female quota in local politics, and because her father is a well-known man.
I never planned to become a sarpanch, or it was not in my list ever. So because of the reservation given by the government and because of that rule, that idea popped up in the minds of my parents, and that's why this thing happened. People used to judge me because they thought that I can't do this sarpanchi thing. These things that you are trying to change are not there in the part of the culture in our village.
Most villagers expect their sarpanch to deliver tangible things, fix roads, build new roads, bring electricity and jobs. Sheshandeep chose a different path. As she takes us through her village, we notice red nameplates on the houses. In the past, these only carried men's names. During Sheshandeep's 5-year term as sarpanch, women's names were added.
Normally what happens is their role gets underrated, that's unnoticed, and I wanted, first of all, that females themselves should recognize their importance, their significance, and the role they play in the society.
Our next stop is the community library. It's closed today, but for Sheshandeep it's crucial to changing patriarchal thinking.
I think education is the prior thing that every female should have, and when they have education, they can question the society, they can question the norms, and they get empowered with the education.
Before long, we reached the small village school. Sheshandeep directed funds to these classrooms. They are for boys and girls, still rare in much of India, where many schools remain divided by gender.
When kids are going to the school, students, they should be taught in a different way. They should be, taught like they should emotions like sympathy, empathy, and when they are there with the females, how to behave well in the society. They should not do eve teasing or following a girl.
Later in the afternoon, Sheshandeep meets a few village women. Stitching classes give them a small income. Soon the conversation turns to the latest brutal rape cases making headlines.
Why this cruelty? Why only against girls? Women have equal rights, but because we're women, we're held back. If we were men, we'd be equal with other men.
Yes, the men need to change. Earlier, people were uneducated, they didn't know much. But now people are educated and there's a big difference. With education, men must change and give us women a better life.
Sheshandeep treads a fine line between tradition and modernity. Radical Western feminism isn't her language. She respects tradition and a culture built around family and marriage.
Marriage is something that's going to happen to everyone in the society, and I think marriage is a concept which is very essential for a society, and I'm looking forward for that. We want to preserve our culture. We can't be transferring from traditional to totally westernized thing. That's not the solution. Otherwise, we will lose ourselves, who we are, from where we have come.
याद है छोटे होंदे मैं करदी हुंदी सी
Her father tells us the neem tree in the family's yard was planted to celebrate Sheshandeep's birth. He passed the family's transport business to her brother. Her mother is a teacher.
There shouldn't be any difference in how we feel, but from the moment a girl is born, people start saying she shouldn't have been born, that she should have been a boy. Only a boy is seen as perfect. If it's a girl, fathers don't want to know. But why? Why don't we see that this is so very wrong?
What's important is that it's often the women themselves who start this kind of discrimination. The mother of the girl or the grandmother, they're the ones who think, oh no, now we have a daughter.
We are back at Mumbai's famous J&PT library. In its grand study room, young men and women prepare for their future. They are at the heart of one of Meghna's essays on feminism, which she wants to share with us.
Feminism is not about women versus men, but women and men versus a system that is unfair, the system of patriarchy that has failed us all as human beings. And being a feminist is being a good human. It's really as simple as that.
Our journey comes to an end. Sexual violence against women is a global pandemic. But in India, it's much more systemic than in most democracies because patriarchy and misogyny are so deeply entrenched. At Mumbai's Marine Drive, Meghna begins jotting down her thoughts on women's lives here. Strong women like JQueen, Usha, and Sheshandeep.
Women, yeah, they need to change. Break those barriers. You know you are strong inside. You know you can do it. But you are just scared to show it, thinking what people will think about you.
I think the most important thing is for a woman to be proud of herself. Because once a girl can say she's proud to be a woman, she is empowered.
Females have the capability to run the government and they should go forward. Because if female can run a house, they can manage the government also.
Meghna has filled the board with opposites. To anyone else, they might clash, but to her, they make perfect sense.
For an Indian woman, you're going to feel all of this. You'll feel like one day you're a Devi, the next, goddess, the next day you're a villain in someone's story, and most often in your own life story. It's all something that every woman should be proud of surviving here, of thriving here.